Hey Waffleman, I am a little bit late today. Oh, fine. I just recovered from hard drive crash on the main iMac, main Mac Pro. Uh, so that's why I was a little bit late. Time Machine backup just finished. All is fine. No data loss at all. So we're good. Okay. So I have cleaned up my desk a little bit since last time because it was getting a mess and I couldn't find anything. Okay, so last time we said that we are going to rebuild this one more time because we need to. Simply because, it needs to be more compact. We need to get this down by one stud further. We need to make the strut tower more compact because it's everything is just too bulky at this point, and if we want to progress here, you know these things need to be way smaller. Just readjust this stand, and I need to buy a new stand for the camera because this stand is really, I mean, it was very cheap, but it's I mean, we're getting on its limits. Yeah, the adjustability is just not there. Okay, so my idea was, let's first address the top part of the mount. So the idea was that we would have a very compact solution to on how to come on how to mount the strut. Unfortunately, the Lego designers who designed this spring disagree with us. So I wanted to do it like that. This would be like as minimal as possible. But the problem is that this spring is not 2 studs wide. It's 2 point something. So it's, no matter what we do, we are not gonna get it within a 2 stud limit. So we have to redesign this, and of course we cannot use these lift arms. Would be fine, but we just simply can't. So a redesign is necessary, and of course I want to have this as minimal as possible, because if you look at this here, you see this is already going to interfere with our wheel. So when the wheel is going to steer, it's gonna bump into this. So we need to make something that's gonna be as minimal as possible here. So this is too wide. So we need to change this. How many frames did I buy? I mean, I have a car's worth here still, so I don't have to buy any frames for the Sierra. That's for sure. And I still have these here, together with some of these. You know, but we are gonna need some panels and stuff like that. So, you know, some material is gonna have to be acquired. Okay, I don't want to be like too exotic here or do anything, but I would like this to be small-ish. you know, I would like this to be as slim as possible without adding layers of parts to it. So let me dig up a little bit in my parts bin. Maybe I can come up with something. I mean, we can use, of course, this. But this, I don't think we can get away with the way I would like. So 1, 2, 3. I mean, we need 3 studs, 3 studs of width. Okay, we need 3 studs of width, and we need one more stud that we have here. So yeah, we can take this as a template. This is how tall we need to make the strut, but we cannot use, obviously we cannot use this because it's too tall. We ideally, I would like to this bottom part to be narrower as well. So on the top end, we may, or we will use these. But as we discussed last time, the matter is a lot more complex, sadly, because when the spring is angled, you know, when the spring is angled, let me just construct something here. Let's say this. Let's take this. Okay. So see, the spring is, of course, isn't angled in such a way. So we still need to account for the fact that the spring here, so the strut, will interfere with things that we put in here, because these here are not long enough. So what are our options, realistically speaking? One of our options would be that we would use a longer lift arm. We would use a longer lift arm, and we would do the following thing. Since we want this to be as narrow as possible, and we want the bottom to be as narrow as possible. So this would be already pushing it, but I'm willing to go with this width, of course, not with this. So what we would do here, come on, what we would do here is we would maybe use this guy, and I want this to be as minimal as possible. Maybe we would use this guy. Put this here. Use this and this. No, wait. Hold on. We can do this better. And I'll explain in a bit. So we can use it this way. It's still too wide for my taste. Still too wide. Because it's gonna be angled, of course, and I want the strut to be as narrow as possible, but I mean, we can do just so much. And of course I want the axle to go through here, because the axle is gonna locate the strut. Okay, so angle-wise, we should be fine. There's not gonna be any interference with the spring isn't gonna hit this part at any point. Sasha, I have seen the Lego motors. One of you has pointed me already to the video. Let me just recall the conversation so I can instantly refer to the person who did this. I mean, I have the memory of a goldfish, so I forgot who it was. And today was so many things happened today that I really, you know, or it was I saw it yesterday, yeah, but so many things happened that I forgot. Come on, Facebook. So slow. Okay, so obviously part of this is good, but the top one, oh, it was you. Okay. It was actually two people. Two people who did it. I think someone beat you to it. Come on. I mean, I hope Facebook is so slow only for me, not for everybody else. I mean, this is... I know Sarah's channel. Sarah's channel is really good. I mean, I always watch it for reviews of sets because I value his opinions a lot. So, okay. So the good thing about this here, the version with these, is the fact that the part which would constrain the strut is very narrow. That's what I like. Yeah, it was you, Ben. Indeed. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. I mean, a few people have directed me to the video, so yeah. Yeah, I mean, definitely we are going to. I'm going to follow the development of this, and maybe we can, you know, ask them if they want to collaborate with us, and you know, he did. I mean, I don't have his book, so I wouldn't know, but I'm flattered. So, why is this too wide? Well, if we look at this here, this of course is as wide as this, and it would be, you know, it would be fine, I guess. The problem is that the Sierra, of course, doesn't have a flat hood. It's actually sloping down, and the hood is gonna slope down, well, here. So, you know, the strut as it is here, it's gonna interfere with the hood. So we're gonna do, well, a trick. I wouldn't call it a trick, but we're gonna do something different here. Okay, so what do we know and what do we need? We need this to be like three. It needs to be 3 studs here, wide. Okay, and we need something to support this here and here, because otherwise the axle that's gonna go here is gonna flex up because of the movement. But we don't need this to be here. What we can do, very simply, we can change this. For example, I mean, this is just an idea. We are gonna do something else actually, but what we can do is we can turn the supports around. They don't have to be right here on top, because the original Sierra strut mounts also have just the spring part sticking out. So that's what we are gonna have as well. Buwiz is also Slovene. I did not know that. I mean, I obviously I live behind a rock, or under a rock. Okay, I need to contact him, but the problem is that with the lockdown and everything, I know Sarah is Polish, yeah, but with the lockdown and everything, it's, you know, it's kind of tricky. Okay, the only limitation that we could have with this is that when the wheel is well, if the spring is compressed, the wheel might hit these here. But you know, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna ask them. I'm gonna contact them and ask them if they're interested in a collaboration, and we'll see. We are gonna see. So, yeah. How much room do we have? Okay, we can go only one stud below. One stud. I mean, okay. The wheel does go in quite deeply. Okay. Well, now we know. So we can have the support like that. Like that. Okay. So we don't have to go to the top with these. Now, I would like this to be one stud in further. Let's see if this is possible on our live example here. So what I would like to do is, let's slide this in like that, and let's see if, yeah, no, we cannot have this go inside here. Damn. What about if we, yeah, but that's not gonna work either, is it? Hold on. I don't know. JSP. I only know Serial from his videos, and that's about it. I couldn't make this opinion of yours. So, from what I've seen from him, I like him. Otherwise, I didn't interact with him, so I really cannot have an opinion. But there were often situations where people said that someone is a douche or they don't like them, and I was going along with them without any issues. So, you know, to each his own. Maybe you don't like him, I don't know. I have not seen anything of him, so whatever, you know. It's not for me to criticize this. It would be very uninformed. Okay, now let's think a little bit about this. The strut tower is very important. I mean, this is the foundation of the front of the car. How to make proper strut towers. Um, okay. Okay, that would be one stud lower, right? This makes me so angry that I cannot have this one stud lower. But as always, I mean, there is a solution that it's staring me in the face. Um, something, one little thing, as usual with all the things, one little thing that then clicks and we get it. Hmm. Because we want both sides here, like in this example, we want something supporting this. If we don't, then this is gonna, well, I mean, this is gonna, bend. And I don't want this to happen. Not really. I mean, inevitably, I think we're gonna have to settle for this. Because I don't see any other way. Yeah. So it's gonna be basically like this. Yeah. So we are gonna have it something like that here, and then this through it, and then pins. So I mean pins, basically these. I mean, in the end, it's gonna evolve still. Even when we add this to the suspension bridge right now, a few weeks from now, maybe I'm gonna have an idea and we're gonna change this. But right now, we're gonna use this. It's cute because it's actually very light on parts, which is nice. So it's our current affair. Our current affair is this, and now we would have this. It's a big improvement. This is a lot lighter than this. This is really heavy. This is very light, and of course, I mean the strength is irrelevant because the forces are acting just this way. Um, but this also has a good potential for mounting a strut brace. So yeah, that's what we are gonna go for. Yeah. Okay. So we need 2 of these. Mm. Hey, David. Okay, so we have 2 of these. And now for the more difficult part. So as we said in the previous video, rebuilding everything, of course. We need to rebuild everything. So here we need to push the frame rail needs to go 1 stud further out and 1 stud further down. Okay, so for this going out, it would be best if we just turn these 2 around. But since we need to go lower as well, yeah, we need to redesign the whole approach here. Okay, so we need basically the pin needs to be here. We need a pin here, basically. And I mean, black on black is so hard to see on video. Okay, so yeah, so we need our pin to be here. This is the position. So yeah, we need to replace this here with something else. So it needs to be here. And of course I want this to be, you know, pinnable. So we need a pinhole here so I can push this through it from the inside. Because that's how I work. We have limitations here, of course, because of the steering rack. And this is not gonna be, yeah, let's say it this way. So far, this was easy peasy. This is gonna be slightly more difficult. Ever so slightly. Yeah, something. I'm just, you know, I'm taking a look now at my parts box, you know, to get an idea of what I would perhaps like to do here. Because basically what we want, I'm just gonna construct, I'm gonna do it out of light bluish gray stuff because black is so hard to see. So, you know, ideally what we would like at this point here, ideally I would like this. I would like this. Yeah, that's good enough. See, this is 1 stud further out. I can use the pin. I can use the pin to pin the frame rail here. So that that would be one idea. Of course, we need more, because now we need this is the pickup for the steering link, and a lot of things are going on here. So one thing is we need to go one stud higher here to clear this guy, and at the same time in the very near vicinity of this, the strut tower connects at the very bottom here. Yeah, I think here. I think it connects just about here. Yeah. And this leaves not a lot of room, as usual. Is it here? Yeah, it's here. What do you mean I need the light bluish gray parts for the LPS? I need, well, I guess I do, but what does it matter? So, how do we expand on this? I can double stack this to make this kind of sturdier, but then I need to do something about this. I need to do something about this here, and this is gonna, well, it's, I'm not gonna say be instrumental in what we're gonna do, but this part here is gonna be one part of our extending the frame rail, because you see the frame rail here needs to be double stacked. We do need it to be as low as here, because the obvious transition that we need here to the lower part, that's what we struggled with in the last stream. So we don't want 4 studs to deal with 4 studs in height. We want to deal only with 3 studs in height. So that's why this guy needs to be as low as this, but this guy needs to be 1 stud higher because of the steering link. And of course, same time, in the same position where this transition is taking place, the strut tower is being mounted and our suspension bridge is being mounted. But I do see potential here. So this guy here is going to be 1 stud further in, so that in this position here we are going to have a very neat solution that we used in the charger already to make this, well, 1 stud higher. And at the same time, it's yeah, crap, it's not gonna be enough. It's not gonna be enough. So yeah, we are gonna use this. Wait, let me first see something. Yeah, we do need to do that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So my first idea is out of the window, I think. Yeah. is it? No, it's not. Oh, yeah. Okay. We are still in the game. Okay, we can do this very easily. Simpler than I thought. With these. So, we are going to have this, and this, and this here. The suspension bridge is gonna attach here and here. So we can have it here, and then we can have another one here. So, oh yes, okay, and this is as sturdy as I can wish for. This it's not gonna get any sturdier with Lego. Great. And we have the all of the attachment options for the struts intact. Yes. Perfect. Okay. So what we can do here is we can, well, move this further to the back like that. And of course this here is gonna attach into this empty hole here. Like that. See? Now we have the room here. This is still able to attach. Let's count the holes. So it's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There. Oh wait, it needs to be in the lower hole. So as low as possible. Yeah. Like this. Exactly. You know, we want it to be in the lowest possible hole. And yeah, this is pretty good. Of course, the length of this is arbitrary. This is just temporary. I don't know how long this needs to be. And we have the 3 studs transition that we want here. So this is excellent. And now maybe I want to do something different here, so that this would be directly connected here. You know which part I'm talking about. And this is exactly how we are gonna do this. We need to stack it, of course, to get it to here as well, so you know it doesn't move. But so I would use this guy combined with this guy. Or if we want to go super anal, we can use this to get super strength. You know, so it cannot really move anywhere. And then we can stack it by extending this, or I don't know, yeah, something like that. But yeah, we're gonna go with this. Well, Logan, about the suspension of the cars, I do not agree. The reason for the fact for why they have both the same suspension is Lego being lazy. They just use the same setup. There's no other reason for it. it was cheap, they had it, and that's what they used. It's easy to make, and well, nobody except of us is really complaining. So and the crowd that's always complaining is really irrelevant to Lego. The models are selling, and that's all there is to it. That's all that matters. Hmm? Ah, come on. How I hate this. It's always the same. You have to put these in at the same time. There. 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 No, wait. Ah. Turn around. Turn around. There. Okay. Now we have... Okay, now we have a problem. Okay. Now we have a problem. Or maybe not. Do we have a problem? No, we don't have a problem. We are just gonna be a little bit more creative. Hey, Mr. Morty, how are you this fine Friday evening? So we're gonna make room here so that this is gonna be as compact as possible. And if it looks good, there's no harm in it looking good, of course. There. There. You mean with the buoys? I don't know. I am really not qualified to talk about it because I just learned today that no, I learned yesterday that they are even doing it. So, you know, and even for the Chinese copy, I learned about a week ago that it exists. So, you know, before I test any of this, I am not qualified to make judgments or any calls. Okay, so I think this suspension bridge is getting pretty cute, if you ask me. So let's replicate this for the other side. I think I'm having these two. And these, okay. So there. So perfect. Our frame rails are actually very sturdy. They fulfill everything I wanted. If they are good, we'll see after we reassemble now everything with the strut towers. But I have high hopes. Okay. Well, you're excused. You've been conducting scientific research for the channel. Okay. Now we need 4 of these, yeah. Okay. So this of course is experimental, so I don't know what to expect. We're gonna see. Where is the other one? All right, I have probably put it away. Okay. Now let's see. Now I'm gonna do, of course, the obligatory cage around this, you know, to stabilize this, and then we are gonna see if the wheels hit anything and if everything is so far stable. And if it is, I think we are safe to proceed with doing the transition here. So the triangular bracing to the frame rails, and then we can start thinking about either the firewall or see if we can squeeze anti-rule bar links somehow. I doubt it. I highly doubt it, because there's no room. But you know, never say never. Yeah, I mean, as I understood it from various videos about those motors, the main difference really is if if the motors have the safety for powering them down when under stress or not. If they don't, they kind of perform better. If they do, they kind of turn off or throttle down the power sooner, making the appearance that, as if they are weaker or stronger. That would be my understanding, but I could be completely wrong. Yeah, I guess. Okay. Well, how about that? How about that? Now that everything is a little bit sturdier, the geometry is a little bit different. Not saying it wasn't different before. It probably was. We just didn't see it because things were not as sturdy as this. But nevertheless, I can see where this is leading to. Okay. And this is leading to this. Not saying that what I'm gonna do right now is gonna be in the final car. I just want this to be kind of sturdy, so we can research it further. Yeah, I mean, six motors will pack quite some punch. That should be good for fun. This is okay. This is okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna keep a close eye on the development, and then we'll see. It's not like we even have we even have a Chiron to do anything. Of course, we can start testing in the Sierra. Absolutely, that is absolutely an option. The Sierra would probably take 3. I think if we have 3 Buies motors in the Sierra, that would be fun already. Mm-hmm. Okay, this is good. This is good. Yep. Okay, now let's do the same on the other side. Hey, Mr. Morty, thank you, thank you, thank you. You are crazy. Okay. Yes, Lego is expensive. That's what we know. I sold my vintage Atari recently. People who follow me on Instagram have seen the pictures. And the proceeds of the Atari sale are, of course, going to buy Lego. What else? Um, that was, I mean, in the Atari did just collect dust. I was never gonna use it again, so I figured, I mean, there's no point in keeping it around. Might as well sell it and have someone else have fun with it. Ja, Spaß kostet Geld, ja. Das stimmt. Aber so ist es nun mal. That's how it is. I am extremely happy to provide. If you enjoy watching. So, now we need to somehow combine this together. Okay. So we can have a solid platform. Okay. Right. And now this, and then we can mount the wheels and test our clearances. I sold the Atari for 180 euros. So it's a big chunk towards the Bugatti. There. This is solid enough. Nothing really moves. The struts, of course, need a little bit more guidance, but they are fine as they are now. Okay, so everything is proper. Yeah. The wheel alignment is leaving things to be desired still. I can see problems here immediately. See, the spring is making contact here, so we sadly won't be able to use this piece. We will have to redesign it a little bit, but okay, that was to be expected, no problem. But right now I am very interested in the clearances here. So if the clearances with the wheels are good enough, we can move forward. So the clearance here is perfect. Nothing is hitting anything. Still, we have still a lot of room. What about here? And even here we have room. Even when the wheel is compressed, when the wheel is compressed, of course, it moves further out. So there's all the room in the world for the wheel. And look at this. Look at how. By the way, the suspension of the Sierra is as wide as the suspension in the Charger. Okay, so keep that in mind. This is as wide as the Charger, yet we have so much room here. I mean, there's an enormous amount of room between the frame rails to mount any engine that we possibly would want. Of course, the LPA Power V8 is a little bit too wide, but if we experiment with a small LP Power V8, you know, it would be perfect for an inline electric motor. So let's imagine a three or four Buwiz motors, or well, the four buggy motors, one after another, as an inline four. This would be quite fun. Or let's say let's have three here just behind the suspension bridge, so that they can be as low as possible. You know, this would be quite brilliant if you ask me. I would like that. And the steering goes really nicely. Of course, we have to and look at how basically how little room the wheels are actually taking up to steer within their confines, which is pretty nice. This of course allowed us to push to have this as wide as possible, so the room between the struts. And if you look at it, it's actually pretty in scale. So the struts are as far apart as in the real car. The room, as far as I remember from photos, this is pretty consistent, pretty good actually. And the struts aren't even being pushed as far inward. Only wiggling is of course because the firewall, well, what is going to be the firewall, of course, is not really sturdy, but this is not important. I mean, I can make it sturdier, just like in the front, with the addition of this. I don't know. I mean, 4 is a good round number, right? And if in the future two Buies battery packs can power the 4 motors, this means that we can have less batteries with us, so everything would be lighter. So, oh yeah, very nice. Yeah, this is pretty much it. And if desired, we can always put a strut brace between them. But as far as I can see now, a strut brace is not required. What is required, of course, is that we provide, as discussed, a third point of fixation for the strut towers, which we will. But other than that, this is fine. This is very good. This is very good. And the wheel alignment, as far as I can see it, is good as well. I don't see any bumps there, which is also good. And yeah, of course, the wheels are moving back and forth because we still need to do the triangulation. But yeah, that's next. Triangulation next. Exactly. That's where my idea was coming from with the 4 motors from the original Cosworth. Well, we're gonna use these here, and we'll see. We'll see. That's the fun in it. It's always the fun, even with the Mustang and all the other cars that I developed with LPAs. It's the fun is discovering these things. Is it strong enough, or is it not? There. It needs to be exactly there. And then what breaks? Okay. I do not have another one. I would have to steal it from the charger. So we are going to develop this only on this side, and tomorrow I do need to order stuff from Bricklink because I really do need to order some parts. Some are for Leon for the switches, stuff like this. Well, the thing with these is that they will work if you don't have huge angles. The angle like this, for example, what most people tend to use is they make a very stiff suspension, where even when the car is on the ground with all its weight on it, the suspension is basically gonna always be fully extended, and the CV joints are gonna have to work in this fully extended position. They don't want to do that. CV joints work best if they have small angles of attack. Steering is really a huge angle for these, but if you have just a driving axle with no steering, you basically want a movement like this, small angles, and then these will work fine. No, they don't. They are gonna break because they've been designed for indoor use. The plastic hubs, they've been designed for indoor use, and as soon as dirt comes in there, it's gonna destroy them. There's even on Eurobricks there's thread about this where one of the users has driven one of his models with the planetary hubs on sand or something. Dirt got in and destroyed the wheel hubs. So he obviously destroyed the wheel hubs to show us the inside of them. But yeah, it's not intended for outdoor use. Basically, that's what's it all about. But, so snow, I think snow would be okay, but sand and mud are very questionable because sand and mud go in and they basically sand is like sandpaper. It's gonna destroy everything. Okay, I'm gonna check your topic out. Okay, but that I just got totally distracted. What we wanted to do here is actually do the frame rails. Okay, so we want them like this, and now we can go like 3 studs down here. Okay. Ah, yeah, okay. Of course, I cannot have anything here because of the wheel. Or do I? How much room do I have here? Okay. Oh, nice. Okay, so I can go. I can go here. Probably would be wisest to go here. Yeah. Like that. So I would have it here. And then continue the frame, well, to wherever the firewall is gonna be. And for the firewall, I need to consult my picture. Let's see where the firewall needs to be, because we know exactly where the firewall needs to be. Let's see, Dropbox, yeah, Stream Sierra. Where is the drawing? There it is. So let's take a look at this picture. So if I see this correctly, and the firewall, of course, is the green vertical line. The firewall is gonna be like 6 and 4, so 10 studs, 10 studs from the wheel center line away is the firewall. Basic firewall and a pillar are 10 studs away from the wheel center line, the way I see it here. Could be 11 as well if we feel like it. You know, we have a little bit of leeway here because the firewall is hidden, and I would probably like to have it as far back as possible. So let's say 11 studs from the wheel center line is the firewall. Let's take this as our guide, because the wheel gap, so the wheel arch is 12 studs. Then we have 4 studs for the fender, and then the firewall at the end of the fender. Okay, So let's see where this leads us. 11 studs is this. Yeah, I think this is 11 studs. So 11 studs. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5. Because of course we need to take the half stud here into account. Half stud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Half. This is the firewall. Here is the firewall. Okay. Quite far out. Which is good. So the firewall is here where the pin is. This is our firewall. And the firewall needs to be 13 studs high. So 13 studs high. There. That's the height of our firewall. This is the edge of the window. Basically. This is the lower edge of the window, and the upper edge of the hood meet here. Which is nice. We have a lot more room than in the charger, which is also nice. Yeah. And when we have this guy here, well, it's gonna be here. Okay. And maybe we can make a mount for this onto this. Maybe. Or maybe we can just fabricate a mount without this, see where it leads us, and then make this. That's also another option. Yeah, that's probably the better option. Okay, so as before, as in the previous stream, we want to make a mount that locates the strut here in the bottom part, so we won't get this kind of movement, because we don't want this. And of course, at the same time, we're going to redesign the strut so it doesn't interfere with the spring. So let's do that. Let's get rid of this. Okay. Let's get rid of view. Okay. So first we need to make a path for this. Okay. So basically we don't want anything here in the middle except here. We just want this. We just want this hole here. But we can have stuff here on the sides. So basically I would use this guy here. Then I would use these two. this. So now we should have some clearance here in the middle. You know, just, oh, come on, focus. Yeah, you know, maybe just enough. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe we can. Yeah, we should. We should do this as well. We should do it like this. You know, it's better to have some extra room designed into the system. So we would go this setup. Yeah, you know, just enough room here. If this was all right, this should give us, you know, plenty of room. Yeah, this should not interfere. We'll do this on the other side as well, but first we need to, well, see how this works, because we're gonna probably change some stuff here depending on how we can mount the support for it. Okay, so now this here. Of course, the limiting factor again is the wheel. I'm gonna again mount it to see where we are with the clearance. Okay, so obviously we cannot have anything here just at the bottom. But we can have something here. I don't know, like here. Okay, we can have something here already, but not further in. So that's the gap that we need to leave for the wheel. Of course, when we drive the car, the wheel is never gonna be on full drop. I mean, on full drop, never gonna be on full compression on this side, because this is the inner wheel, and the inner wheel is always gonna be unloaded when on full lock, bar exceptional circumstances where, you know, there's gonna be some bumps, but they are not gonna push the wheel very far in. But if we have some bumps, let's test this. If we have some bumps, yeah, it's not gonna hit. Okay, yeah. I'm just having this as a marker, nothing else. So that's the furthest out, the closest we can go to this. And we would like this to stop moving. In the real car, of course, this is not a problem because all of this is incorporated into sheet metal, and of course it's not moving. But in our case, it is. I am just happy that the strut is actually lower than the C-pillar, but still it's gonna be, we're gonna have to work on this. This is still gonna be a problem. So yeah, but one problem at a time. One problem at a time. Yeah, so this is not a problem anymore. See, we have plenty of clearance here now. So this is good in all directions. Yep, plenty of clearance. Okay. I'm open for ideas, by the way. Don't be so silent. Okay. One of the ideas I'm having is, what if we ignore this for now, do the firewall, and then brace this on the firewall. That would be one option, I guess. Just gonna see something. Okay. Which two CV joints? You mean these two? What do you mean pull apart? You mean in this way? But the point is not for them to be sturdy in this way. They need to be they will be compressed. That's the point. The car, when the car is driving forward, all of the forces are gonna come here. You know, they're gonna come here, and they are gonna compress these two. That's the point. The forces are gonna act here, and the CV joints are basically just our they transmit all of this power, so the forces coming from the road into this, and this is gonna be braced on the frame rail, and it's not gonna be able to go anywhere. That's the point. So I don't care about this. They don't have to be sturdy in this direction. Where was I? Okay. No. Or yes. It's an astounding no. That's not gonna happen, sadly. But that would be what? That would be Yeah, an even steeper angle than this. Oh, I just wishful thinking. That's not gonna happen. Okay, but you know, so we're gonna do something. We're gonna do something. So, firewall, uh, firewall, and the rest of this. Um, Basically, we would like this entire thing to go up until the firewall. So since the firewall is here, we need to make this guy shorter. So this is a 15 stud. We need to make it a 13 stud. So it ends before the firewall, because the firewall up until here, up from the firewall onwards, the firewall, I mean the bottom of the car is gonna be, you know, here, and we don't want anything here. That's my logic. Yeah. So 13.1, 13.2. There we go. So this is now 2 studs shorter. And the firewall is gonna be here. Here. Okay, then we can get creative with the firewall. Okay. But the good part is that since we have 13 studs in height to play with, we can make the firewall like a lot sturdier than in the charger. Because in the charger, the firewall height was only 10 studs. Here it's 13. So that's a huge difference. I mean, it's a big leap in scale. I mean, in scale, you know what I mean. Do ask. Don't be afraid to ask questions. There. Well, we are gonna use ladder frames if they are convenient. There's a reason why I don't like the ladder frames, because you cannot stack them one against each other like you can with 5x7 frames. That's the problem. But I have them, I'm looking at them, and if there's an opportunity to use them, I will. so obviously we're not gonna use that anymore. Okay. How is the quality of the Kada bricks? I have not had any Kada stuff before, so I'm kind of curious. Okay, so obviously, okay. I'm gonna brace this. Okay. Okay. Yeah, well, I wish Kobe made Technic stuff because their quality is really good. I really like the quality of Kobe bricks. Right. So now our firewall. The question here is how much inside the rocker panels on the Sierra are, and which parts we are gonna use for the rocker panels. So again, probably gonna deploy something like this for the rocker panels. No. As far as I can see on all the pictures, this is gonna be pretty much what we should use. With the exception, yeah. Now we can use, yeah, we can use them. We can use them. And then the door panels would be like, well, pretty much we could use the same or same-ish stuff for the panels, for the rocker panels as we did on the charger, because obviously, you know, it on most cars it just swings out like this, and then on the Sierra we have a more everything is more angular and more straight than on the charger. No, it's not gonna be black. I'm just these are just the parts that I have here on hand. In Sierra is probably gonna be white. Or orange, I don't know. I mean, it all depends on, you know, since we are gonna use these as fenders. It all depends on, you know, parts availability and stuff like that. I mean, I guess this is gonna be it. I don't know. Maybe. Could be. But first we need other things. So why I'm asking this for these parts, thing is that the firewall and of course the doors need what, 1, 2. Just let me check on the charger how much the doors need. they need us to be 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Let's say that the firewall and the A pillar need to be 3 studs, 3 studs narrower than the outer skin of the car. So if the outer skin is like this, we need to go with the firewall 3 studs in, 3 studs in, so that because the doors are basically hanging on the side of the firewall. So that's basically the width the firewall can have. So I would go with these here. These rails where my tongue. These rails here are basically what I'm gonna take as a guide. So the firewall is gonna be this wide. We can always, I mean, we can always change it, but that's what I'm gonna take as a guide. Okay. Let's do something, a few very crude things here. So we need to go down 3 studs. That was the issue last time. 3 studs. And this here is going to be very convenient. Thirteen studs. Ah, yeah, the firewall needs to be here. Okay, so that's good. We can already basically 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I mean, it's gonna be a little bit more complex, but yeah. Okay. So we want, if this is the firewall, okay, we're gonna do something more complex here. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so we know where the main firewall needs to be. What I'm saying, the main firewall. Obviously, we don't want the firewall to be here, because there's a huge empty space here, and this empty space is reserved for the driver's feet. Of course, we need to be here with the main part, so this part, and then of course the driver's feet are here, and the rest of the firewall is going to be here. So we're going to have, we're going to have, like, I'm just sketching here, basically have a sketchbook. Okay, we're going to have it like this. So it would be, this is, if you look at the pictures of the real car, this is also true in the real car. So basically we have 2 box sections on each side like this, where the battery tray, for example, is here, or the ECU or whatever stuff like that is on such a shelf. Underneath the shelf are the driver's feet, and then the main firewall is like here. Okay, so where the engine, so with the part of the engine, and yeah, this is also gonna stiffen up this part hugely for basically very little parts effort. So the whole area here is gonna be a lot stiffer. And of course, if we have this here, we can have a very convenient method of perhaps mounting the strut tower maybe to this. We'll see. Let's get surprised. Okay, so since we are doing this, and of course this part here is gonna be conveniently braced at this as well, and we have to take one other thing into consideration. Since this car is probably gonna drive on snow and ice, this part here is gonna have some pins inside, and then we're gonna put a plate, a studded plate on it, and the studded plate is basically gonna be the inner fender, preventing mud and snow being thrown into the cabin. So yeah, solving multiple issues at the same time. Let's see where it can be. Where does the wheel allow it to sit? So if we do not want the inner fender, we can be here. If we do want an inner fender, we need to go one stud further to the back. So basically here. This is the closest that we can have it. Like that. Okay? These are just my ideas, of course. Just a second. So, for example, let's say, I'm just taking this as an example, we would have this here, this placed on top of this, to have kind of an inner fender that would prevent dirt being shoveled inside of the car. What do you mean the number 3 connector to get the quick release strut assembly to level again? Number 3 connector, I don't think so. You mean here? Yeah, I don't think it's correct. But I'm really not gonna obsess with this right now. This is not that important. What's more important here is this. So the firewall. Okay, so this is maybe a little bit of a stretch. Okay, since we want the firewall to be here, and the difference is really three studs. Yeah, three studs. The firewall is gonna be. Let's check. I mean, I need to check. Maybe I got it wrong. Firewall. Yeah, I got it right. Firewall needs to be here. So that's the final firewall behind. And take a look at how much room we actually have in the engine bay. That's a long way. Room for a lot of engine. Yeah. So the firewall is gonna be here. And that's like a 3 stud difference that can be covered by no. we can use this, I guess, you know, to make up the difference, and then go from there, or do, I don't know, something else. We can maybe just use in the extreme event, we can basically just use 2 rows of lift arms. I don't know. I mean, it's a structure, very important structural thing, so we could consider this. Okay, so now we know where this guy can be. Okay, now let's see. Let's do something about our frame rails. So they need to go further down here. Let's not forget this. This guy needs to be connected with cardan joints here, and then it goes outside here. So it makes room in the engine bay here. This guy is gonna get up here. So there's not gonna be anything here. So these two are just here temporarily, so I can do this. Let's not imagine them here, okay? You think that we would place the firewall one stud further and do something else here, because it's, I mean, yeah, it's not tight. It clears it nicely. Yeah, that's true. That is true. It does clear it. So what we could do alternatively here is place, I don't know. The only thing we could do is have panels here, or I don't know. Whatever else we do is gonna allow junk to go in there, and I kind of don't want to fill this space with lift arms. I could do it, but that's a lot of weight. But yeah, then again, the plate is also weight. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, we can have it here. Yeah, we can have it here. There's room. It clears. Yeah, let's have it here. Let's have it here. Why not? So this makes this basically a 5 stud affair, and then we can brace this with one of these on top. Yeah, that's okay then. Yeah. Of course, the actual height is gonna be this. Okay. And then we're gonna have a plate, a panel down here. Or do we? No, the panel is here, of course. That's the position of the panel, because that's the floor of the car. That's the floor of the car, and that's the lower framer. That's the lowest part of the car, and the floor is actually one stud above it, because we always want enough room under the car to do, you know, stuff. Place a brace here and there. The one stud is really worth gold, and the way I see it on the real car, this is pretty much how they did it as well. and I see it on all of the cars. Yeah. Okay. So this is the floor of the car. And the firewall can now be, well, it can be either here or here. So, hey Joka. Yeah. But again, the way I see it here, we gotta get rid of this because again, this is too far in. So we have to make it 2 starts shorter, even like that, because our firewall in the engine bay side is gonna be, well, closer. Now we want, since we need much less room for our simple gearbox that we want to build in here. So basically just high and low speed. The point here is that the gearbox is very sturdy, since it's gonna take a lot of beating, because this is gonna be a car that's gonna actually drive. This is gonna be the replacement for the Mustang, kind of as a testing ground for engines. And keep in mind that the Mustang doesn't have a gearbox at all, doesn't even need it. So this is gonna have a 2-speed gearbox, high and low gear. We don't need more than 5 studs in the tunnel. That's what we have to consider. So we don't need more than 5 studs in the tunnel. And what's the difference here? Let me make a template. Okay. So, okay, that's the firewall on the tunnel end. And this is the hole for the driver's feet. Okay. Let me just take a look at the picture of the real car. Okay. Okay. Yeah, just as I thought. Okay. Yeah. So the basic idea on the real car is that the engine bay kind of slims down till it starts slimming down here, and then it's like 5 studs here. So realistically, okay, realistically, if we do not put in, and even if we do put in a LP Power V8, if we have the 4 cylinders, the inline 4 Lego engine or the Buick engines, they are basically gonna be within a 5 stud center line. Okay. Hello to Russia. Hey. So yeah. Okay. So what we are gonna do is we are gonna slim down these frame rails. I'm looking at the picture here. This picture. And yeah, we are gonna slim the frame rails down so that we have more room here. When we slim the frame rails here down, we have more room here for this, so more room for the driver's legs, and the tunnel is gonna be narrower much sooner. Okay. Yeah, we can experiment with the crankshaft. The charger is still gonna. Oh, sorry. Ooh. The charger is still gonna be featured here on the streams because we need to finish it, of course. And yeah, we need to finish the seats, and let's say that we do the engine as well. Make it a more interesting design. Right now, the charger engine is like every normal Lego engine. It's a flat plane. Yeah, we can do a cross plane, I guess. Yeah. But for this, we need to basically redesign the entire crankshaft, make the engine longer and stuff like that. And yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. So we want to make this narrower. But we want to make this narrower in a reasonable manner. You know, because if we just now try to slim this down, it's gonna create all kinds of problems, especially weight. It's gonna add weight, and we don't want weight if it's not really necessary. So what can we do? I'm not gonna sacrifice this part here because this is a really nice connection to this. But yeah, no, forget it. No, we cannot do that. It's been a long week, yeah. And it's late, but you know, my computer problems from the last 2 days have me a little bit stressed. But luckily, since I use Apple computers, I had a time machine backup for all my data, so nothing was lost. I just did a time machine backup after fixing the partition on my hard drive, and everything is back to normal. Okay, so 1, 2. So we need to cut this by 2 studs anyway. We want to go further inwards with this, and we need to drop by 3 studs. And arrive at a central tunnel. Okay? Now, if we want to arrive at a central tunnel, why don't we start with the central tunnel? Okay? So let's perhaps engineer stuff from the tunnel outwards. So the tunnel is going to be 5 studs wide in the center. So that's going to be its maximum width. There. That's the width. let's see, how much do we need? We need 3 studs on each side to come to the center of this. But okay, ideally, ideally, what we would do is basically we would have the frame rails be part of this. I don't want a hole in my charger, but after I release the instructions, you can build yours, and you can do to it whatever your heart desires. Okay. And now I would like to do this. Okay. So if we move this further inward, okay. Subtitles in Russian. I haven't thought about that. And someone would have to do it. Do you volunteer? Okay. So we do have like okay. This would be an option. An option. What I would like is a more a smoother transition from this to this. A smoother transition. And a narrower transition, of course. So without this, and this would be a bit further down the line. But then again, this, what I just built, has a one big flaw. See, this is already flat, and I don't want this to be flat because I need to route. I need to route this guy here along the frame rail, and this does not allow me to do that. This is gonna be tricky. Well, not too tricky, but 1, 2. Just a second. Wait. Can I get away with this? I can get away with this. Okay. Okay. Then this is not gonna be too tricky. Let me just experiment with something. Okay, so this is just temporary. I'm just trying to figure something out. Okay, so we need 2 cardan joints. Number 1 and number 2. Then we need this. And it's short. Damn it. I have something longer. Yeah, of course I do. I do have a longer axle. I mean, in theory, I would like this to be further out, you know, so it would interfere with this less. But I'm just experimenting, as I said. It's just... Oh, you're a 9er. Okay. It's just a thought to get this out of the way. Yeah. You know, like this. This would be the hand of God steering. But ideally, I would want it to be even further out, at least one stud further out, so this would make, you know, more room here in the engine bay. But I don't know, I can live with that, I guess. And you know, this guy here is then going to the actual steering wheel. That's the plan. That's one further reason why this guy needs to go away or be different, because the steering axle is gonna come through here, you know. So yeah, but we have to start somewhere, and because of our gears here, these are both connected, and because this is a rack and pinion steering, it's a lot less slack than in the Charger. So this is all very, very nice. Yeah, it can be anywhere. I mean, we just removed we have all the freedom in the world. You know, the steering can be anywhere, really. My plan was, of course, to then to have the hand of God steering go up from here, so diagonally up to the center of the steering tunnel, and then up on the roof. Very simple. Uh, and the steering here would be just normal, you know. Here we would have the normal steering gear for everyone's amusement, because I really want this, and this would be separate. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool, and it's really easy. It's really yeah, it's nice. Yeah, the clearance is there. I mean, for the inline 3, maybe not. For the inline 3, we would have to move this further out of the way, or maybe not. I mean, 13, the inline 3 is, I think, is it 13 studs? It's 13 studs in length, but I think it's lower. How how high is the inline 3? I think it's 12 studs. It's 12 studs long. 12 studs high, I think. So if we have like 13, so the lengthwise the inline 3 fits anywhere. Widthwise, it has to sit here. So this is the lowest point that it can occupy. That's the limitation. So it has to sit here. But with the electric motors, of course, they can be anywhere, because I think they're not that tall. Or if they are, they fit in here. But yeah, I would like this steering axle to be further to the side, because you know, if it was like this, you know, this would create a lot more room here, a lot more room for various stuff. Ideally, it would fuck off even sooner, so it would like we would have it the plan was that it's like this, you know, that it would go to the side here as soon as possible, and then run along with the frame rail, or something, you know, or something. That was the basic idea. I'm always willing to experiment. The angle was probably a little bit much, but yeah, something like this, you know, just so it goes out of the way and leaves more room here, because if it's like that, there's too much room. Yeah, but you know, we are definitely going to experiment with this in the next stream, of course. So, what have we accomplished today? Well, we did quite a lot. Suspension bridge, I think it's pretty much done. The frame rails are really good here. Very efficient use of parts. We now have the 3-stud transition, but of course we now have to figure out how we transition from the frame rails into the tunnel and firewall. So this is really the part that defines the structural rigidity of the car, and we have to really engineer this well, because this is a modern unibody chassis basically, and what we do here matters a lot. Because it's a McPherson suspension, which means it has strut towers, which require bracing. Everything here on the firewall basically makes this come together, and the suspension basically relies on stiff strut towers, because the stiffer the strut towers, the more accurate everything here is. Under load, of course. If there's no load, even our floppy strut towers are okay. But this, as soon as we start driving and everything is getting loaded, and moves and forces are acting, then things start moving. And yeah. Anyway, that's enough for today. I'm done. Next stream, of course, as usual, on Monday. I am certainly going to do some thinking over the weekend and present the results of the thinking on Monday, because it's very stream unfriendly when I just do the thinking men's pose and stare at everything for for hours. Yeah. Anyway, please, if you can, support me on Patreon, because as I always say, Lego is expensive. All of this costs money, and every bit helps. Subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. If you have any comments, questions, I like to be in contact with my fans, so do ask. I'm always interested in your views. I'm also gonna check Eurobricks with Buis and what's it, with Portal Hubs? No, Portal Hubs. With the reduction wheel hubs that Mr. Morty posted. So yeah, we're gonna see each other on Monday, same time, and have a nice weekend. And thanks for watching.